Good evening, everybody. Holy shucks, we are live. I get excited when I go live, guys, because I automatically know that I'm across the seas immediately at the moment I press that button and we're live and we're ignited. So I know you guys are probably either getting off of your 9 to 5s, just getting or either stuck in traffic in that peony traffic on your way home, and you guys get to hear my handsome voice along the way. I want to thank you guys for viewing me at the I Am Urban Malachi-RESEAN show. This is the brought to you by Eva Mirror Express Homes LLC. I'm a little frustrated today, guys. I'm gonna tell you about my frustration. Can I tell you about my frustration? Is that okay? I don't like to be the bearer of bad shores, okay? But I am going to be the individual to keep it always funky with you guys, because just be straightforward. That's the best way that I know how to do. Guys, I am in a position right now, whereas I'm building out my massive success in real estate. And here in Q3 of 2024, I have seen and taken sights inside of some of this interesting growth inside of the real estate market from previous years of 2020. I'd say about 2017, 2018 when I first originally got started, and then 2019, 2020 around the time when the markets were a little bit shallow. And now here we are as a robust system. So a lot of individuals like to get the misconstrued that, when we were a little bit lower in interest rates, the market was soothing, and individuals were going out and getting. It seems as though like individuals are going out and getting more homes, or just rather getting loans for that matter. And of course, with lower interest rates, of course, that just means generally more spendings. Of course, the more spendings you have, the lower the interest rates. The lower the interest rates, the higher the interest rates, the less the spendings there are. You can always vice versa the Richter scale in that manner, because it's always been prominently seen. As that, no, I'm not sitting in front of any graphical charts. I would love to go over some analytical data with you guys, but just utilizing the knowledge that I have inside of the market, just being speculative inside of it, and being an active, proactive purchaser in the markets as currently. I do see a lot of the disparities inside of the market, and where it seems as though like the grass is growing. It's grass, guys. It's growing. So you have to take the market as where it's at. Anytime you're going to have a peak market, it's always going to be the bellows of the bottoms of another market. So if you take it in the perspective of just growth and going on with the winds that are coming before you, I've started doing a little bit of my own due diligence inside of just looking a little bit further, deeper down into the rest of the bellows to really figure out the means of a permissible purpose for this video here. And I wanted to talk about my take on the 2024 Q3. Have you guys heard that JP is about to lose their CEO? Yes, Jamie Dimon is leaving JP Morgan. So the word on the street is. And to be honest with you guys, I feel like I truly believe that even if he is still a part of JP Morgan, or if he does decide to take off and go to become part of the Federal Reserve Board, I truly, Department of Treasury, Secretary of State, make sure to put that in there. Even if he does become the new Secretary of Department of Treasury, and he's already holding that title as one of the largest banks in America. This bank is $1 trillion bank with only 2 accounts. Count them. 1, 2 accounts. It's almost like having a debit account and a credit account. You only have this account for certain creditors, and you only have this account for certain debitors. How do I know? I kind of do my research. So I wanted to really hone into that, because a lot of individuals are taking heed to that and saying that maybe that once Trump is in the office, and of course I don't get into politics. Please, by all means, keep the politics out of my live shows. This is a 90-day challenge starting out. So this is not to take a political ridge, and this is not to wane you to either choose leftist or rightist. You're free to choose and choose your own thought processes of how it may go. I am taking a big, huge hit inside of it of my own personal life, because of course, why not? my own local banks are starting to become a bit more of a restraint, bringing a bit more of a restraint. But I also recall back in a couple of years ago when the Federal Reserves called for a what some would call as a tapering. But what they did was an emergency banking measurement per se. Let me put it in that manner: a banking measurement where they tested banks to see if they would qualify and be able to lapse, or even just restrain themselves, or to even stay afloat in a matter of $1 million prints. So they tested the banks. The banks got a test. And along that test, some banks lasted, some stood the test of times, and then we saw shortly thereafter several banks that fell. Several of the larger banks, such as SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, one of the largest banks in Silicon Valley. So we've seen major bankings. Even several years ago, we've seen major banking in China. China fell. These banks are not banks that are just the most intelligible. We all have access to the same almost nuances that our market that they do. It's just generally who's taking the most massive action in these markets, who's being able to utilize the most keenness inside of those markets, who has the insider scoops of all these deals that are going on in the market, who's allowing BlackRock to allow them to buy properties up under that single family home with only a working mother that has just sold their house in auction. Who has those ideas? Well, guys, I'm here to let you guys know I don't have all the answers. I'm here to let you guys know I'm just the man. What you guys thought I was gonna say something else outside of that? My pronouns are paying me. All right, but it still does not negate the fact that you can be successful inside of the real estate market. And I'm getting ready to show you guys that, because even with all of the nuances that are going on outside, yes, they have a major effect in the market. You are absolutely right. Does it dictate whether or not my immediate clients are going to feel an effect on it? Probably not. But on the large grand scheme of things of how regulatories are going to be in the market, absolutely, which is why I do my due diligence, and we're going to do a little bit more of these scopes in a depth of a scene. But this is not particularly set out for that. I am not here to talk about the market. I wanted to bring that up because a lot of individuals were asking and requesting me to say something about it, because it's obviously an elephant in the room. So I want to speak about the elephant in the room because I am a part of the elite. So I want to ensure that I'm addressing what's properly being brought to me as an elitist. So there you guys are given the insights to what I prospectively believe. And of course, I could go into deep in details, but I've been doing a lot more studies inside of the United States Code. I've been doing interest inside of such as the Chapter 15 of the United States Code, Section 1681A, where definitions and rules of construction, where the section provides definitions and rules of construction for the Fair Credit Reporting Act, ensuring clarity and uniformity in the interpretation of terms related to consumer credit reporting. I want to take a look into and deeper dive inside of what the United States codes will allow for my clients, such as 15 United States Code, Section 1666B, timing of payments, outliers of the permissible purposes for which consumers reporting agencies may furnish consumer reports, protecting consumer privacy by restricting access to their information. I want to talk about an in-depthness or just regulatory, such as regulating the timing of payments for open-end consumer credit plans, specifying when payments are considered timely and preventing late fees due to processing payments. Of course, I don't learn all of these off the top of my head, so of course I'm not going to have them battled up in my head, but they eventually will be rattled off in the top of my head by simplicity of continuous learnings and also building and growing. But like I said, I'm giving you guys the insight that these are the keys of what we utilize on our daily base of business when you speak to property owners who are dealing with mortgage notes, in which we know where we can go and provide them a service, providing that you individuals out there in the world are not necessarily needing those regulatories, or they're knowing the United States codes and all of the complexity of what it could be. But I want to make sure that it's notated in my videos that you guys can have access to that information, because we do use blocking of information resulting from identity, and which is actually in 15 U.S. code, section 1681C-2. And that's the reasoning of why I'm using TikTok as a means, as an outsource, because that is more so where individuals are getting a quick lapse of timing of information when it comes to their actual finance charges, or even just the financing charges that are stated in 15 U.S. Code 1605, where the determination of the financing charges are. Details in how financing charges are calculated under the Truth in Lending Act. TILA is a regulatory for individuals who are dealing with financial institutions who are not properly performing or being a fair player inside of dealing with your finances. So why do I bring up these ideas? Why do I bring up RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Acts? Because we're dealing with this on a daily basis. Now, over time, we'll do separate videos and segments about these regulatories because they're very important. They're important because if you're out there and you're learning the very fundamentals, there's always going to be a next step up of where you are learning to. And if it's anything that I can do, but just relay over to you that there is more keen knowledge that you can obtain, but even at the very base fundamental levels of what we're doing here while we're solving property owners' challenges in exchange for ownership or control of the properties. If you have not caught my other 14 videos, because this here would be day number 10 of that 15 of episode 15, we are in a position where we can start now opening up the options to letting you guys know that these are our means and ways of providing service to property owners, in the means of assurance that they are rightfully done responsibly by, or done right by the responsibility of their fiduciaries. Now, their fiduciaries, of course, are being the financial institutions who are the service providers of the case, and they're not always the case. That may be to be the investor of the case of that finance charge. Now, a lot of analogies inside of there that I want to break down. But of course, as I stated, we're not getting into that in the full realm of this call or this live stream here. These are just the takes that I am giving you guys, that I am looking at as an aspect of the real estate market, because they are imperative to have in your back pocket. And I'm not just looking at them, I'm actually learning these, and learning them how to actually talk like the banks, speak like the banks, legalese, legal writings, double speaking, the terminology behind it. Why? Because this matters. When you're talking to property owners, that's one ordeal that you're dealing with. You're speaking to property owners. Yes, you could close a deal without knowing any major legalese in which you could defer to an attorney, but you have to take it upon yourself to learn the rights that you have of your own. You have to learn how to break down your own financing charges. You have to understand why you're being charged for certain things. Why are the banks only to accept interest payments? Why are the banking institutions permitting themselves to accept donations as a means of payment of principal payments, when they are the rightful individuals who accepted your confidential information? Now, whether or not if you left them a blank endorsement, and I would love to go into and speak about blank endorsements. I would love to go about speaking in reference to restrictive endorsements, how to properly instruct you and instruct the financial institutions, for the lack of better words on that one. The instructive institutions to whether or not what payments are made out to them and what payments they're accepting remittance for, acceptance for value and returning for value, or just accepting for value and returning for discharge of the payment, because there is ramifications for that. But here's where I want to tie this in, because I know that this is where the market's going to get a pivotal moment at. Is a lot of individuals are going to get really big headed with a lot of knowledge, and they're not going to be able to execute. It's one thing to have the drug of knowledge, but it's another to have the symptoms of failure to execute. Okay, So I'll say that again. It's one thing to have the drug of knowledge, to be addicted to knowledge, to learn knowledge, to find new things as profoundly spontaneous or fascinating. It's another to have failure execution. So you want to assure that when you're executing in a proper manner that is best, not just beneficial for your client because they're trusting you as a trustee, and I'm using the words and verbiage that I'm learning, but you're also utilizing the means in which case scenario is such as beings, if they're charged a finance payment and you want to know what that payment could be reduced down to at a very low barrier to entry level. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to do that, but that's not going to be something as I give out as a free 99 course, because that information takes a lot more of a sophisticated manner. Now, would I make mentions thereof about it? Absolutely, because that is where the knowledge is gained of insight, and of course, it's clickbait too. So, whoop-de-doo. I'm going to get you guys with some clickbait. Is that okay? Acquiescence. Thank you. we're gonna move in towards how that works. We're gonna find the permits, whereas you guys can utilize the short sale method and strategies that I tell you my partners use simply to be a success inside of it. It's one thing to be able to be in front of a property owner who is $15,000-$20,000 remaining or in overages of debt, but it's another if their property is worth $250,000 and you could bring that $15,000 down to merely nothing, peanut chuckles, if you're paying anything other than mailing them to cease and desist. We have the access to those keys, guys. We know what motions to make towards to make that happen. We do this, we perform these, we execute these in our business on a daily basis when we're dealing with property owners who are facing hardships. We know what litigations that we need, what litigation processes that we need to perform, and if we need to properly execute, whereas there may be a instance where we may countersue the lenders. If they sue our clients, we can countersue them and utilize some of the codings that I just read off to you guys, because of the fact that they are accessible to everyone. Does not negate that we cannot perform them here. So I want to make sure that I started the show off with that, because I got there's a lot of rumors that's going around in the market, and I want to make sure that my show is appealing above all of the nuances, and I want to ensure that you guys are getting the most quality of knowledge basis, because I don't want you guys coming to me with some asinine questions, some nuanced questions that I'm gonna either find the block button to remove you or just keep you far away. There's information out there for you guys. I'm going to be bringing it to you guys as it comes in. The more knowledge that I gain and bring in, of course, you guys are going to be able to view me on TikTok, because I'm doing the TikTok thing for it, so that you guys can see it in rare form. Even utilizing some of the banking that I do. I'll start doing one-on-ones with individuals to prove it to you guys. Because I'm proving it to myself every day. Every time I meet a new client and there's something that I believe that I heard is new, and that these lenders are really not offering as new to these clients, and I get to tell them that, like, they're not going to offer you anything new. Bar card holders, you know what the bar card holders are going to tell you? They're going to tell you one or two things. You can short sell your home, or you can foreclose on your home. And when you're foreclosed, you could if you short sell your home, it's one thing. You're going to short sell, which means the real estate professional and the attorney, the foreclosure attorney, are going to get together. They're going to know that they're in for a profit. And when they're in for a profit, guess what they're going to do? They're going to make sure that they sell that house less than what's market value. They're going to sell it for less than what you owe. And of course, they're going to make a deal. We're not here knocking them for what they make on that property. But if you've lived in this home for over 30 years and you may have just missed a payment, or even just stipulations factors, I'm not trusting individuals who are in a position that are continuously abusing the system. Those aren't who I'm protecting. It's the individuals who are assured that they've done everything that they could think of under the sun that just simply did not work. It didn't work out for them. And it could be something so small, so minuscule to me, but it's major to my clients. It means a lot to my clients. And so if it means a lot to my clients to bring them the best key value that I can, doesn't that mean my compensation means everything to give them the proper knowledge and performance at best case scenario that they provided to me at. So I want to be properly prepared for that. So in order for to do so, I can tell them that, well, yeah, your park car holder might say short sale is a route, but I can tell you what, even if they did tell you that was a route, you have bankruptcy on the other hand, but that may not be your best friend either. I'm not going to promote you to go, and I'm not even going to permit, or I'm not even going to advise you to go do a bankruptcy. Because if I tell you to go do a bankruptcy, I'm going to tell you that only 2 that I know of. And I'm going to tell you that, hey, well, look, even your bar car holder might only tell you that too. They might tell you, like, look, if you go file a Chapter 7, that means all your collaterals are going to be seized. That means everything that you own is going to be seized and utilized as the means to pay off that, to offset that debt. And then, of course, it's going to be on your record for up to 13 years. And then on the other hand of that, if you decide to go to Chapter 13, well, you know, Chapter 13 is not really, it sounds good to a uneducated individual, but if you're filing Chapter 13, you can rest assured that if you file Chapter 13, it's going to stay on your record and you're going to go on a payment plan. But only once you go on that payment plan, because you're going to go before a judge to get that payment plan. And if the judge decides to say, hey, well, look, you may not be able to be able to afford your home, and that payment plan may not be awarded to you, you can find yourself in a position where your credit is in the rut, and in a credit society where you have to have excellent credit to go out and perform, under the assumptionability that you have signed a social contract and that you are discriminated against. And yes, there are discrimination laws. There's no difference than an individual who is walking, Mr. J. Joe, who's walking inside the bank, who could put down $15,000, $20,000, and yes, I'm talking about my investor, who could put down $15,000, $20,000, but still could get a massive amount of funding and a business credit, where Miss Sarah Sue, who can hardly, calculate the next ends of how she's going to make her rent, or pardon me, her mortgage payment, who can't go to the bank, whose credit's in the rut, who decides whether or not if she qualifies or her credit worthiness, or if she paid bills in a manner where she was taught incorrectly that she had to perform in a manner where she's paying debt with debt. She's utilizing Federal Reserve notes to pay off more debt. Who places these individuals in those circumstances? Let's talk and take on Q3 2024 real estate in a manner where we are utilizing the resources that are before us to properly perform on these debt notes and debt obligations. And in the means of that, we are compensated to also solve these property owners' challenges. But the way that I'm producing it here on this channel is a means of doing it so that you are also performing in a manner to solve that property owner's challenge with the means of an actual presentment, a negotiable instrument in which you can have the common law of country and the equitable interest into that property. You do not own that property. You are not buying. Well, and if you're in a state like mine, you are buying the property, because we have to do double closings in my state. So check with your local state regulatories. I would immediately defer to any realtor, or pardon me, any attorney, any professional attorney that is in your state. I would defer to. Please check with them first in your state's regulatories to figure that out. In my state, I know how my state regulatory is. We're going to we do double closings over here. So we have a subject A, which would be our seller, Ms. Sarah Sue, subject B, which would be myself, and then subject C would be the end buyer, at which about a transactional lending scheduling, maybe about an hour up to a day, in which that closing will occur. And then subject D will end up being my buyer, or me being C, subject C, on the other ends of that spectrum to close, now that I own title and deed of the property, and I closed on that property, now exchanging it over to or transactioning it with my buyer, who will be subject D, J. Joe. So that's how transactional lending works. That's how double closings work. And of course, as I always tell you guys, check with your local title escrow companies. Check with your local attorneys who settle on real estate deals, and they can explain this to you. They could set you in the correct guidance and manner and how that works in your state regulatories. But that's just how it works successfully for me. And I want to make sure I bring it to you guys awareness, because that's how I educate you guys. That's how I bring it to an insightful moment for you guys to be able to grasp that concept and run with and grow in your own business. So yes, we could do a double closing to close on real estate deals. We can use those as a means to assure that even in cases that may be that we don't want to be the person who closes on them, but we have someone else who subject closes on them to assurance of a tax haven, prospectively. That is that's completely legal to do. So we want to assure that we are making the best keenness of our timing and the assets that we're providing and the service that we're providing. And if I could do that at a means of a rapid rate where you guys are successful with it, I'm going to give it to you guys in the manner that it comes to me and which has been successful for me, and that you guys can be relayed in a manner where it's legal, moral, and ethical. Okay, that's what we're here. That's what we're here for. That's what we're about. That's what this show is about. So we're closing on these real estate deals in the means of wholesale, and executing on a wholesale contract, which common law country, and exchanging the equitable interest rights in the property. And you're going to be able to perform so that you can assign those rights over to the end buyer. So for the laymen who are in here and want to assure that they're not being told any kind of like, so I'm not speaking in any kind of language other than layman's and English. We are closing on these real estate deals. We're showing general interest via the purchasing agreement, which the seller will sign. We're going to provide that contract over to the escrow title company, in the means that that title escrow company can then do a thorough title examination on that title, and they will produce for our end buyer, who's going to cover all the closing costs, all the fees, all the taxes that are insured on the property, the insurance. They're going to do the complete payoff of that property. And then in the means of that, you're going to make yourself a sumptuous payoff. All right. Why do I say sumptuous? Because, again, I'm not in here to make peanut shekels. But of course, I'm grateful for what you guys are acceptance for, and that's good. That's good. You guys are being proactive. Again, it does not mean that you can't come and make $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Something may pay off for you guys. But for my individuals who want to put in the time, work, and effort to come out with a nice $20,000, $30,000 per deal, this one's here for you guys too. So it's really for both. My show is for both individuals. It's for the individuals who are overworked, underpaid, individuals who are tired of working and want to retire because they found out that their pension check was not as much as they used to be, or that they were succeedingly suspecting it to be. And then, of course, on the ends of that, Social Security income is not going to be lasting as much longer as it already is at. I mean, shucks. If you're giving out every individual $2,500 on the ends of the earth, that money's going to end up in the same hands again, over and over again. And with the price of living rising, I mean, gosh, your lifestyle is not getting any better. If anything, it's lessening and becoming a lesser degree, which is completely in its own right. It's just rubbish, just rogue, and just wrong. And I detest anybody has to live that kind of lifestyle of a repetitive of systems that continuously goes on in that manner. It's just trifling. So without the furthering of that experiment, what I would like to do now is to jump into what we've been working on for this past 15 episodes, past 10 days of consecutive callings. Again, we're doing this for 90 days. Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. Thank you guys for sharing this with your friends. I do see the notifications. I do check out the metrics. I always say that whatever you measure, you can manage. And of course, my metrics are very important. So when you guys like this show, I'm appreciative. Like, comment, and subscribing on these shows. When you guys are referring these with a friend, when you guys are sharing this with a friend, somebody who may be overworked and underpaid, somebody who could just use this information as a massive action taker and knows exactly what they are in it for it. And of course, you can win a big payoff from it. But I don't want to paint a picture of a big payoff. You know why? Because I want to paint the picture that you guys can solve property owners' challenges in exchange for ownership control of the property, which is generational wealth, which will take you a lot seeding forward than just the monetary values. Is that okay? Okay, let's move on. So on today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be jumping into my calendar. We've been working on doing pre-foreclosures, but today we're going to use the calendar. These leads are coming strictly from, if you haven't checked out any of our several other videos, we've got quite a few of them now. So check the previous videos. Started episodes 2 or 3, episode 2, I go into deeper dive of how I go about finding the leads and what I do to qualify a lead. So these are going to be the cold calls. I don't want to be before you guys long this evening, and I want to get you guys the best of what you guys can use to be successful in your business. So let's go ahead and call up our leads. Do you guys believe you can do this for 4 hours a day and still make a reasonable, handsome pay?
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. Hello, dear. Hello?
Hello, may I speak to Ms. Moultrie?
This is she.
Hi, Ms. Moultrie. This is Malachi with Eva Marie Express Homes. How you doing this evening?
With who?
Eva Marie Express Homes.
What is it that you want?
Yes, ma'am. The reason I'm calling this evening, calling concerns of your property on 26th Street in Wilmington, Delaware. Do you still own that property?
Yes.
I was curious if you were still interested in selling. I'm still buying a few more properties in Wilmington and would like this to be one of them.
Not at this point, thank you.
Okay, all right. Is it okay if I follow up with you in the future sometime?
Couple months.
All right, I'll call you in a couple months and see where we can push the button and help you then. Okay.
All right.
All right. Take care. All right, so that might have been. I'm not sure. I had to do a little bit more deep diving into that one. She seemed a little bit when I asked her about when I asked about the property. She seemed a little bit down about it. So I don't know if that maybe was one of our leads of a probate or not. It's not notated in here what the lead is for particularly. But I always treat each property as a fresh judgment. I don't make a judgment until I firmly, confidently have all the evidence that's laid before me, and then I can make a profound judgment on it. And in this case here, she's open to selling to not right now, but in the future she's open to selling the property. She's still the owner of the property, so I'll send her a text, just to let her know, say thank you for accepting my phone call. And in the near future. Now, near future for me is not a couple of months, of course, because time does pass by. And of course, you lose leads in that manner. So I do want to follow up with her in a couple of weeks or so, just within the next month or so, to see where she is as head clearance wise. And who knows, we may end up getting a deal out of that one. So overall, I would have to say I did a pretty good job on that call. spare a moment with you guys. I'm gonna put my phone on the juice box. Okie dokie. We got flavors. Let's keep it pushing.
Hi, you've reached Amy. Leave a message.
Oh, that's a new name. Okay. Always important to follow up with your clients. Your clients are like the bloodline. One thing about I've learned from actual Kevin O'Leary is that money is the bloodline of your business, right? So without your clients, you don't have any cash flow. And if you don't have any cash flow, your business is dead. So you want to assure that your clients are at a prestige level of satisfactory of knowing that their head clearance is taken care of. At the moment's notice that they call on you, you are there. You have crossed your T's, dot your I's, and anything else that they find was just bonus, it's surplus. If you find it something that we've never known about before, and it's new to us, but you can rest assured we've done enough due diligence that we've checked off our boxes. In many cases, I don't even have clients who come back after we've solved their challenge. We don't even have them. We've placed it in a position where they don't even face their challenges any further. So in layman's terms, because I like to use that word layman's, because you guys may not know what I mean by that. So I have clients in which I solve their challenge through, as you guys hear, where they probably may stay in the property, but we find the means to make it affordable for them. And of course, that sounds like we're a tenant. Well, yeah, they become our tenant. However, in the means of us structuring it, we structure so that they are actually owning their home. They're buying the equity back in their home. It's not a reverse mortgage in a sense, because it's not a product of a reverse mortgage, but it's something of an incentivizing. The more that they pay or fixture up the home, the better and purifying of them successfully keeping their home, especially if they were in the dark days and we pulled them from out of their darkest moments to the grandeurs of light. We want to ensure that they get the best keen note of assurance that they can keep their home, solve their challenge, build the equity in their home, and still we make money, make a really good amount of money on it, reasonable amount of money, shall I say, on this call. But the company makes a reasonable amount of money. But it's not about the money for us. Like, just being genuine with you guys. It's like we solve these individuals' challenge, and knowing that they have that burden off their shoulders is a win for us in our book.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Let's get the cold calling. Let's get the cold calling.
Your call has been forwarded. Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. Is not available at this time. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Good evening, Mr. Rodney Brown. This is Malachi calling. I'm calling with Eva Mira Express Homes. I'm calling in concerns of your property on West 8th Street in Wilmington, Delaware. I was curious if you still own that home. I'm still buying a few more homes in the Wilmington, Delaware area. I would like for this to be one of them. If you can call me back, we can discuss your options. Best case number to contact me at is 202-878-3736. Once again, that number is 202-878-3736. It'd be greatly appreciated and hope to hear from you in due time. Take care. Bye. Ooh, Kishon. I typed in here, Kishon. I was just reading the notes in this one. Kishon. What is a Kishon? K-T-K-I-T-H-C-E-S. Insane. Kishon. Ooh, hurry. I just talked to her 2 days ago. Oh, no. It wasn't 2 days ago. I talked to her 6 days ago. Almost a week. Let's follow up. Why not? It's been a week. This might have been a call we did on the live stream. Maybe she says yes this time. Can't keep pushing this one off. Do it on the live stream. I try to keep them on the live stream. If I do them on the live stream, I try to keep them in there with you guys, but I call them sometimes in the mornings, and sometimes I try to keep them in.
Hello, you have reached Tina Trail. I'm sorry I can't answer your call right now. I'm either driving or... Hello, you have reached Tina Trail. I'm sorry I can't answer your call right now. Hello, you have reached Tina Critchfield. I'm sorry I can't answer your call right now. I am either driving or on another line. Give me a call back. Talk to you later. Bye.
Good evening, Miss Crutchfield. This is Malachi calling. I'm with Eva Mira Express Homes. I'm calling in concerns of your property on Emma and Newport News, Virginia. I was calling to see if you were still interested in selling the property, as I'm still purchasing a few more properties in that area. And I would like this to be one of them. You can give me a call back at this number. We can discuss your options. Best case contact number for me is 202-878-3736. Once again, that number is 202-878-3736. It'd be greatly appreciated and hope to hear from you in due time. Take care. Bye. Some people are like, I don't want to be a nuance. You don't want to be paid. I want to be paid. So if I gotta be a nuance to be paid, I'm gonna do what exactly I need to do to go get some money. If this is what I need to do to make sure my daughter has a Montessori, to make sure my financial futures are secure, and to assure that I'm living the fullest, finest of living, finer living that I can live at the most maximum level of a being, oh, you better rest assured I'm going to do all the above to get those three things. You better rest assured. Yeah, you're goddamn right.
May I help you?
Good evening, may I speak to Mr. Lamont, please?
Who's calling?
Yes, sir. My name is Malachi. I'm with Eva Mayer Express Homes. How you doing this evening?
I'm sorry, who are you with?
Yes, sir. Eva Mayer Express Homes. I was calling in concerns of your property on Lamont in Wilmington, Delaware. You still own those properties, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any other properties that you may be looking to sell?
Not for what you want to buy it for.
Well, we don't know that yet. What are you looking to get for it?
I know it because I receive these calls all the time.
Really? Well, maybe I can be a little bit of a peculiarity to the market. Maybe something different. What kind of offers have you been getting that you've been turning over?
I have a house on the market for sale for $395,000. This is a fixed up property.
395. What's the address of the property?
Sir, I don't have the time to waste your time or my time.
No, that's all due respect.
So don't you buy houses and fix them up and sell them?
Yes, sir, we do. What case?
Right. So this one would not be for you because it's fixed up and not in need of anything at all.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
All right.
I'll tell you what, if anything changes, you give me a call back.
Sure will.
All righty, sir. You take care.
Bye.
Hey, you can't catch him all. He's got it in his fixated in his mind that he can't get this thing. That I'm not gonna buy it. But you know what? I'm not gonna argue with you. You're probably right. If you want to list it on the market, it's already on the market. Put it on the market. If it doesn't sell, if anything changes, give me a call back. I'll see what I can do for you. That's how we do it. That's how we roll. We don't want to get into a back and forth of what I'm going to buy. Do you need to sell it? You want to sell it? You're going to sell it. You put it on the market. All right, it's on the market. Let it sell on the market. If it doesn't sell on the market, you call me back. That's how we do it. Okay. Let's keep it pushing. On to the next one. So we called him, did a follow up, make sure he was good. He sold the property in which I was calling for. Called to see if he had any other properties. He told me he told me the property. Let me remove all of this because I just noticed that this is chaff here. I'm just gonna move. The notes are a bit weaned out. So you gotta know people who two-step. You gotta know who salsa dance. You gotta know who do the Soldier Boy. You gotta know the flow, know the flows of the songs in which are going on. The people who were thought crazy, who were dancing in the rain, were just simply listening to the music that we're playing. That's all. Just got to know what songs are playing in their minds. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you that they've already either fixed it. They're not going to tell you why they went and listed it on the property or the market. And he's not going to sit here and go on. As he said, he doesn't want to waste my time, and he doesn't want to waste his time. And that's respectable. I'd rather you not waste either one of our time, and we both look like a fool here.
Hello, I'm sorry, I cannot come to the... Hello. Hello, I'm sorry, I cannot come to the phone right now. If you please leave your name and phone number, I will get back to you. Thank you. Bye, have a nice day.
Love her voicemail.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Good evening, Miss Joyce. My name is Malachi-RESEAN. I'm with Eva Mayer Express Homes. I'm calling in concerns of your property on the 26th section of the 200 block of 6063 in Baltimore, Maryland. I was curious if you still own this property. I believe the proper address is Morova Road. I was curious if you're still selling these lots, as I'm still interested in purchasing a few more lots in the Baltimore, Maryland area. And I would like these lots to be a part of those. If you give me a call back at this number, we could discuss your options. Best case contact number for me is 202-878-3736. Once again, that number is 202-878-3736. It'd be greatly appreciated and hope to hear from you in due time. Take care. Bye-bye. Ooh, why does this not have a name? Trying to get you guys at least one more out by the end of this one. Looking up one which does not have a name to it. Not sure why. Most properties sometimes have the names along with them for us when they've already made it to the calendar, but this one, for whatever reasoning, did not. I'm gonna go ahead and get that squared away really quickly. Oh, this one's sold. That's probably why. Someone halfway put this lead in. All right, I'm just gonna say I put this lead in halfway, and so it's just for the sake of this live frame. I put this one in here halfway lead, guys, but I don't know why I would put a half lead and half number, which means I can do a reverse. Brilliant. I can do a reverse phone call or reverse phone number search. So let's see. Let's see who comes up with this number. John Hart.
Your call has been forwarded to a... Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 43432132999 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Good evening, Mr. Hart. This is Malachi calling with Ibermere Express Homes. Calling concerns of your property on Washington Street in Whiteville, Virginia. I was curious if you still own this property, as I'm still purchasing a few more properties in the Whiteville area and would like this to be one of my purchases. You can give me a call back at my number, best case contact number to discuss your options. My number is 202-878-3736. Once again, that number is 202-878-3736. Be greatly appreciated. Hope to hear from you in due time. Take care. Bye. All right, send him a text. All right, guys, can't catch them all. I think I did pretty good in this one. Got a few answers, a few voicemails, and several texts out. Want to continue the momentum up here. Just consistently getting these across for you guys. Good evening. Bear with me when I finish off this text. All right. So in the conclusion of this video, I do want to appreciate you guys for coming in and viewing this evening. You guys are absolutely tremendous for coming in, liking, commenting, subscribe. We did another successful video. We're doing it each day. We're incrementing, adding new things, trying to test to see how this works out. As far as getting you guys the knowledge keynotes, what works, separating the chaff from the wheat. You guys know I love to say it backwards for you guys because it throws some of you guys off the way I do things. So trying to cinch, if it sends it up your spine that I'm going to continuously do things to get you guys to come view me, I'm going to do it. But without further more, I want to leave it at that. I'm going to digress here. I do appreciate you guys. Like I said, please, by all means, comment, like, subscribe, share this with a friend. If you know anybody that needs to sell a house for any reason under the sun, I am buying in the market. I am looking for a beach house property. Please send me your beach houses. Beach houses. Got it? Okay. Don't forget it. All right? Beach house. And I mean it. Don't forget it. Yeah? All right. Send me a beach house. And you got the number. You know the number. You know the email. Thank you for viewing. You guys have a great evening. Take care. Oh, it's not. Oh.